Hi there, my name's Stuart. I'm one of the physios from NHS Tayside. Today we're going to be showing you a passive stretching routine for the arm following a stroke. This is aimed at a patient or potentially a family member, carer of a person that has a dense weakness or a tightness of the arm. They might have limited or no movement in the hand or fingers or up the arm, and this is just gentle routine to help stretch the arm, relax the arm, and also prevent any loss of range of movement, because the tighter things get, the more problems your hand can have with kind of personal hygiene under the arm and the fingers and things. Keeping everything nice and clean and loose is the aim of this stretching routine. The important thing while you're doing the stretches is you should not have any pain or discomfort as you're doing them. Everyone has different ranges of movements in their joints, especially as you grow tighter. And the aim is that these stretches will just be within your comfort zones, with an aim to, as time goes on, gradually progress and get a bit more range into your joints if possible. So to start off with, one of the most important things in your general maintenance and managing your arm, and also for these exercises, is having a pillow under your arm. Anytime you're sitting in a chair, if you have quite a dense weakness of your arm, you should have a pillow support. The main reason for that is a two-part. Supporting your shoulder. If all these muscles are weak, also your rotator cuff muscles up in your shoulder joint are weak as well. And the longer you leave your arm hanging down by the side of the chair or just unsupported, it puts a lot of strain on that shoulder joint as well, and that can actually start to give you a bit of pain up in your shoulder as well. And then the second part of that is if you are hanging unsupported, everything will tighten up as well as time goes on, because that hanging actually puts a bit of strain on all your muscles throughout your arm and makes everything tighten up and restrict a little bit. When you are using a pillow support, it should be right under your elbow, because that's keeping it sucked up into the shoulder joint, keeping it nice and supported, and it should spread right out to past your hand and past the fingers. And when you're there, if you've got quite good range of movement, the aim is that your fingers are straightened right out, nice and flat, with a bit of space in between each of the joints. Ideally, if your chair accommodates it, this chair's a bit tight for me, but your arm should also be a little bit out from the shoulder to create a bit of a gap in between your arm and the side of your body, and that just creates a bit of space for everything to relax, and it also makes it much better for kind of personal hygiene and things. Cleaning the arm and things makes the maintenance a lot easier as well. Right, so we'll get started. So we're going to start off down at the fingers. Going to start with a nice gentle stretching routine from here. And all you're going to do is get a hold of the bottom of your fingers, and you're just gently going to stretch them up to try and extend your fingers within your comfort zones. You might have quite reduced range and you only manage so far. Your fingers might be a bit restricted, but only through that comfort zone. And then you're just going to stretch them out as far as you can and then bend them. So we're going to do that 10 times in a row. You're just flexing your fingers as far as you can and then straightening. And the key is you want to do it in a nice slow controlled movement. If you actually move too quick, it actually impedes things, so it actually makes tone a bit worse and tightness a bit worse. So just nice and slowly straightening and slowly coming down. And you can play about with your hand position a bit, depending on how tight your hand is. You might need to slot your thumb under to get a better grip. You might be able to just purely bring your palm underneath and come up. You just have to take it with how your hand is, take it by an individual basis. Your next one, what you're going to do is, depending on how tight your hand is, as best you can, is a very small movement, but try to slot your fingers in between each of them to create a bit of space between each of your fingers, just to let them breathe a little bit. And all you do is kind of slot your fingers out a bit. You can either slot them in and out that way, if you have that range of movement to do it, or you can bring them down towards the end of your fingers and then just push them up together. We're doing that 10 times. And again, shouldn't have any pain while you're doing it. Just nice and comfortable movements. Next up, just going to work on the thumb a little bit, which can sometimes get neglected a little bit. You're just going to bring that thumb out to the side, away from the other fingers, and back in. Repeating that 10 times again. And then your next one, very small movement again. It's just a slight movement to each side of the joint. So things can be a bit stiff and uncomfortable this way, but just do it again within your comfort zones. And all you're doing is a nice slow side to side movement. And then we'll move up to the wrist next. Again, base it on your tightness, but the aim is getting a hold of the bottom of your palm with your fingers, and you're just going to try and stretch your wrist up the way, just to extend at the wrist. Again, if your fingers are a bit tight, they might be a little bit on the tight side, and you're just doing slowly up and slowly down the way as well. It can help to bring your hand forward a bit in the pillow, just to get the down the way as well. And you're just going to do that 10 times again, slowly up and down. And then next up, we're just going to do twisting the hand around, so you can get a clasp of your hand or a grip of your fingers, grip of the forearm if you struggle to grip the hand. And all you're going to do is basically try and rotate your hand over. So you want the palm facing up the way, and then rotating it back round the way with palm facing down the way. Just slowly up like that, again within comfort zones, not pushing through the pain, just keeping it nice and comfortable. Just doing it 10 times again. Good. Moving on up the arm now, so we're up to elbow now, and all you're going to do is a nice bend and straighten of the elbow. So you're just going to get a grab of your wrist or clasp your fingers if that's easier. Do with whatever makes you feel comfortable that way. And all you're doing is bend the elbow up as far as you feel able towards touching your shoulder if you can, and then try and straighten the arm down fully. As you straighten down, see if you can get the elbow as straight as you can. Again, you can have your pillow forward a bit to try and straighten your arm fully if required. And you're just going to slowly bend that arm up and slowly bring it down again 10 times. And just see how you are tightness wise. If it's painful or uncomfortable for you to twist your wrist around like that, you can have your palm facing down or facing to the side, wherever's comfortable. It doesn't matter too much for the elbow movement at the moment. And if you're feeling a nice stretch at any point, say straightening the elbow, you can hold it for a couple of seconds if you want, just to slow down and give it a nice little stretch. Again, just within those comfort zones that you're aiming for. Good. And then next up, shoulder movements next. Depending on how uncomfortable your shoulder is, you can again clasp your fingers together, have your hand by your wrist, hand held onto your wrist, hand under the top of your arm. Just see what you find comfortable. And what you're going to do is try and reach that arm above your head, and you're just giving it a good stretch. It might only be to here, depending on how comfortable you are. You might be able to get it right above the head, and you're just slowly coming up and down like that. And the key is nice and slowly and controlled with the movements. And again, depending on your tightness, your elbow might be a bit bent, it might be fully straight. It doesn't matter too much at the moment with this one. Ideally, you want the arm completely straight, but just go with your tightness and how you're feeling when you're doing the exercises. Good. 2 more exercises to go. Small one, this one, but you're just going to get a hold again of your arm. Again, above the arm if it's more comfortable, below the arm, wherever you can get hold of. And you're just moving the elbow out to the side and up as far as you feel comfortable. It can sometimes, if your arm's feeling heavy, kind of under the arm, above the elbow, can sometimes just help you get a bit of a better push. And again, it's just within your comfort zones. Just try to go as high as you can up to the side. It might only be to halfway, just go with what you feel. I'm doing it 10 times again. And then your next one, with your elbow in by your side, very small movement this one. You're just going to take yourself by the wrist, with your elbow resting on the pillow, you're just going to slowly rotate your arm out the way like that. Just slowly in and out. The elbow shouldn't need to lift up too much from the pillow. It should just be a nice gentle out to the side and back. And depending on your tightness, this can be a little bit of an uncomfortable one. So again, it might just be a small movement here, or you might be able to get out a good bit, just see how you feel. And each time you revisit the exercises, you might find it changes every time. You might be able to go a little bit further or a little bit less, just depending on how tight you're feeling on any particular day. But just take it, each stage, just take it day by day, go within your comfort zones. Good. And that's it. So a nice gentle passive routine. You can do this a few times a day if you find it beneficial. You can do it once a day. It's just a really good routine just to help stretch off that shoulder and keep it in the full arm and keep it nice and loose. Thank you.